Y'all gonna mess around and get Daniel Jones a $100 million contract. Tua, Miami, Mike McDaniel. What are y'all doing? Y'all lost 33-8 to Daniel Jones in the Indianapolis Colts. Y'all got Daniel Jones looking like Peyton Manning out here.
So we had our first full slate of Sunday NFL games yesterday. It was a lot going on, Samaria. I know you were in the building for one of them. So was I. But I want to talk about this week's winners and losers from NFL Week 1. Give me yours.
Okay, so let's start with the winners. I'm going to have to start with the Buffalo Bills. I felt like the way that Josh Allen was able to put together this masterclass to rally his team back from behind. I thought the game was over. I honestly did. But you can never really count out Buffalo. And this was probably their toughest matchup of the season. Of course, they still have to go and beat Baltimore in Baltimore. But I think to start out week 1 with a big win like this over the Ravens was huge. My second winner, Daniel Jones. Y'all gonna mess around and get Daniel Jones a $100 million contract. Tua, Miami, Mike McDaniel. What are y'all doing? Y'all lost 33-8 to Daniel Jones in the Indianapolis Colts. Y'all got Daniel Jones looking like Peyton Manning out here. It's crazy. And I gotta eat my words, Rodney. I gotta eat my words.
I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen as a retired New York Giant football fan. I knew that he was going to go to Indianapolis and at the very least show flashes. I had a deep feeling, and I knew he was going to have a better stat line than Russell Wilson, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Continue.
Okay. So my loser in that obviously is the other side. Like I just mentioned, Tua, Mike McDaniel, the Miami Dolphins as a unit. We all knew that Mike McDaniel was going to be on the hot seat heading into this season. I'm like, Tua, like, what are you seeing that I don't see? You got one of the best, if not the best, wide receivers in Tyreek Hill. I don't know what's going on down there.
He's not the best, but he's the fastest.
My third winner, Micah Parsons, because Micah did not play but maybe a third of the snaps yesterday. They were kind of making sure that he was good when he came in or whatever. And while he was in the game, Rodney, he's making an impact. Everything that Jerry said that he didn't do in Dallas, he was doing it in Green Bay. And I felt like he really needed to have a great debut at Lambeau Field to kind of prove I deserve this money and I earned this money and F you. Okay. Yeah. And on the other side of that, the losers, the Detroit Lions losing 27-12. They almost felt like a shell of themselves. And we have to understand that they do have 2 new coordinators and there's going to be some growing pains. But this is the exact same team that they had last year. Actually, it should be a better team because they have a lot of guys on defense that are now back. Aiden Hutchinson, the biggest one. They did lose a lot of key pieces on their offensive line, and Jared Goff was running for his life. They got to figure it out because you play in the NFC North. That's arguably one of the toughest divisions. The NFC in general is tough. You know, maybe this is a wake-up call they needed. I will say, Lions fans, if y'all are stressed, 2 seasons ago, the Lions came to Arrowhead, beat the brakes off Kansas City. They went on to win the Super Bowl. I don't know. I'm just saying. Who you got, Rodney?
Okay. Of course, my biggest winner is Daniel Jones. We are aligned there. Like I said, I anticipated this. I expected it. It's just what you kind of like, as, again, a retired Giants fan, this is just what happens. He played great, man. He looked like, every now and again in a Giants uniform, he showed flashes, and he did that and then some yesterday.
Okay, so he went 22 of 29 for 272 yards, 1 touchdown. He rushed for another 26 yards on 7 carries and 2 touchdowns rushing. Y'all got this man looking like Lamar Jackson. Y'all got this man looking like Jalen Hurts. 2 rushing scores?
Hey, he can boogie a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, that's a hell of a stat line from Daniel Jones. My next winner is going to be Matthew Stafford, Devontae Adams, and the Los Angeles Rams. Now, there wasn't much fanfare. It's weird. Maybe to me, we all live in our own bubbles, but there wasn't a lot of conversation around Devontae Adams going to the Rams. Like, it was spoken about, but it really wasn't spoken about at length, considering who Devontae Adams is, considering who Matthew Stafford is, and what that combination and connection could look like. I actually went to this game yesterday, and the Rams are scary. I think people should be on high alert with the Rams. That offense, I mean, Pua was dominant. They have so many weapons. They're running back by commit. Like they just, I would be a little. Their D line ferocious. I would be very very afraid if I'm in the NFC and I gotta worry about the Rams. I just calling it now.
No, you're right. But I think they're in a great position because I think it's always good when people aren't talking about you and you just come out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
They gonna sneak up on some people, and I think within their division, they're clearly the best team in their division. And so I think that they'll actually get a lot of rest this season as well. I just look out for the Rams. I'm gonna just say that. Okay. My biggest loser then on the opposite side of that is CJ Stroud. Man, what a difference 2 or 3 years makes. I don't know what happened to the guy from that rookie season who, looked every bit like the next coming of one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He had such poise and command of the offense. I don't see anything anymore that looked like that guy from his rookie season. I'm sure you're going to pull up his stat lines, but as I'm watching the game, my eyeballs were telling me, I had to look like, is that CJ Stroud? Like I had to look several times. Like that don't look anything like the guy that I remember. So I feel bad. I don't know if it's a line thing, a coordinator thing, if he doesn't have enough weapons, but man, the Texans look bad.
19 of 27, 188 yards, 1 touchdown. He was sacked 3 times. His QBR was 43. So that is really not good. I know people saying last year, he's having a sophomore slump. So nobody really thought anything of it. But yeah, they gotta figure it out because for CJ's sake, as well as D'Amico Ryan's, I want to root for him as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was nasty work. My next winner is going to be Aaron Rodgers. The old man still got something up in that shoulder bar. I thought Aaron Rodgers played really, really well yesterday, and just the Steelers in general. I felt like they had a chance to really just let go of the rope there for a second, and through the direction and leadership of Aaron Rodgers on the offensive end, it felt like he was really in tune and connected with his guys, and they pulled out a victory over the Jets, who also looked decent. Justin Fields,
I know that's what I was gonna. Yeah.
Justin Fields looked pretty good. The Jets in general looked really good, but Aaron Rodgers was the deciding factor in that game. He was just a better quarterback than Justin Fields. And so, a lot of people felt like he was done. He had nothing left in the tank. And then he comes out and he puts on that kind of performance. And then after the game, he's like, I want to see everybody in the Jets uniform lose. I'm happy to beat anybody associated with the organization, I believe was his direct quote. So I love that level of pettiness after accomplishment. I do. I thought it was polite.
No, yeah, it was great to see. And like you just mentioned, I felt like the Jets could be a winner for week 1, because it's just crazy how you see these quarterbacks switch teams and for them to kind of turn the corner. Justin Fields, I don't think I've ever seen him as confident and as poised in his time in the NFL than he did yesterday. And I mean, I think that's just a testament to coaching and the weapons around you.
Yeah.
So
he's going to be a fantasy football stud for somebody, somebody who picked him up late, because he puts up stats. He's going to run the ball, and him and Garrett Wilson seem like they have a little bit of synergy, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how their season plays out, because it's game 1. Even though you lost, it was a good looking loss. My next and my final loser is going to be Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Sometimes there are certain teams, certain players that just have a little bit of a mental hurdle. And unfortunately, right now, this could always change. It feels like the Baltimore Ravens just have some sort of mental block. Kind of like, ironically, the Buffalo Bills of the 90s, where they just couldn't get over that hump to win a Super Bowl. I kind of feel like there's that kind of thing. There's been other organizations that have had it as well. You could go even outside of football, you can go to the Sacramento Kings in basketball as well in the 2000s. Sometimes there's just these teams that are so good, and historically we'll reflect upon these teams with a lot of admiration, but ultimately, they were never able to get it all the way done. And I'm hoping that that's not the case for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. I think everyone wants to see Lamar Jackson win a Super Bowl, but it feels like there's some sort of blockage and just something in the way. I don't know if it's cosmically, I don't know if it's mentally, but it's just.
No, it was Pretty rough. 16 unanswered points they gave up in the second half is just unacceptable for a team that has Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. It's just not. I don't really know.
Like you got Derrick Henry and you got Lamar Jackson back there. Like you gotta on a 4th and 2, to seal the game. You put the ball into the hands of the people who are all world, first ballot Hall of Famers. And I don't know. Some of those decisions yesterday from the Ravens were questionable.
They have way too much talent on both sides of the ball. I mean, even I'm just now thinking about their receiving core. It's just great. I didn't even know they had DeAndre Hopkins. I'm like, what in the world?
It's crazy what they got on offense. Defense look a little weak, but that offensive side of the ball, man, like.
We do got to talk about Cowboys Eagles. That was Thursday night. The Cowboys
didn't look bad.
Right. They don't look terrible. They don't look like the Cowboys of the past. I know CD had a few drops, but I mean, you're going up against the reigning, Super Bowl champions, and you only lost by 4 points.
So what are you saying though? Do you feel like that's going to be a tough conference outside of the Giants? But the NFC is tough, top to bottom.
Yeah.
I don't know that wild card. I don't know if there's room for the Cowboys to make the playoffs this year. Not because they're not an adequate team, but just because there's so many other good teams in the NFC. I don't know. Does the NFC East get 3 teams into the playoffs this year? They're going to be beating the hell out of each other. I don't know.
It's a lot of really strong divisions in the NFC.
Well, while you ask me about the Cowboys, I want to ask you about the Kansas City Chiefs because it seems like it's over.
But see, that's what I just mentioned. I just mentioned 2 seasons ago, we saw it. Even last year, they got all the way to the Super Bowl. It just seems like, to me, Kansas City just finds a way to win games and get to the Super Bowl. They are in the AFC. We just kind of talked about how the NFC really right now is the more dominant conference.
It's week 1.
It is week 1, but I'm just saying we've seen Kansas City look really bad to start the season, and then somehow they just keep winning games. I don't even know how they're pulling these games out.
We've seen them look bad, but we've never seen them look bad and not win until the Super Bowl last year. Like, they just have that thing. It seems like a little bit of the magic has gone. It seems like it's gone from Mahomes.
Right, you got players running into players.
Yeah, it just something. It feels like it hit midnight, and that glass slipper. Things have changed. Things have changed a little bit, and maybe that's just because Kelce's getting older and he's not able to do all the things that he used to do in the past. And so when you have a guy that you relied on for so long, no longer be able to perform at that level, maybe that just takes away the ultimate security blanket and safety net for Patrick Mahomes, and he's still trying to figure out that receiving core isn't the best by any means.
And they're missing like Rashee Rice, who's suspended. Worthy, was knocked out. So I
don't know. We'll see what happens.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, man.
I wouldn't be mad at it. But you all jumped out of the comments and what?
I was just gonna say, the U.S. Open. I got to throw this out there because the U.S. Open men's finals was yesterday, and so I was at the Rams game, but I had my phone out and I was for sure watching the U.S. Open. Shout out to Carlos Alcaraz, man. Alcaraz is a cold boy. I know they try to talk about him having a rivalry with Yannick Sinner. The man has beat him 7 times, 7-1 right now. Okay. It's not really a rivalry so much. Alcaraz is for sure clear-cut the best tennis player on the face of the earth right now. And shout out to him for winning the U.S. Open. What a phenomenal, phenomenal year in tennis. This is the last major event of the year. And I would be remiss if I just didn't shout out the sport that I'm so just consumed with. I love tennis. I love it.
Anyways, but yes, you all dropped out in the comments and you let us know your thoughts on week 1 of the NFL season. Who were your winners and losers? Do you agree with Rodney and I? We want to hear from you.
And make sure y'all hit that link in the bio for our newsletter, getting you guys abreast of everything going on in the world of sports. It better be some tennis stuff in there. I ain't checked it today, but it better have a Carlos Alcaraz mention in that damn bio. All right.